Hello everyone and welcome back to Angels franchise. We are on to draft week and the Angels are 45 and 44. And in the last episode, we started the blow up of the roster, trading away guys like Ryan McMahon and Pete Alonso and gaining in return a couple of nice prospects in the likes of Travis Bazzana, center fielder Drew Jones, and also left fielder Albert Gonzalez. And to be honest, since then, I think you could argue that the team has been playing better. Bazzana in particular is playing incredibly well since moving to the Angels. He wasn't playing at all for Cleveland. We've given him the chance to start, and he is proving us right to have made this move. I'm really excited about his future with the team. His true potential, by the way, 89, so he could truly be a superstar for this Angels roster. But in today's episode, I want to get straight into it. I want to start the MLB draft. We've got a number of players that look really exciting. We absolutely cooked with the discovery this season. Mike Trout has suffered his first injury on the season, a lat muscle strain. I'm not risking anything with Trout. I'm not keeping him active. I'm going to put him on the 10-day, even though it's just a minor injury. And we will stop simulating because, of course, that means that we have to plug somebody into DH for him. And to be honest, I think that man is George Valera, who has lost his starting job to Drew Jones, but had been playing well prior to that. And then I think Zach Neto, being as hot as he is, will jump up to second in the batting order. So prior to the draft, we've gone on a bit of a stretch of losing. We of course won the series against Cleveland, but now have lost back-to-back series against Cincinnati and Baltimore and have fallen back below 500. But honestly, at this point, I think the more losses, the merrier. We're not trying to contend anymore this year. We are looking for better draft picks, and we are going to rebuild this team basically from the ground up around Neto, around O'Hoppe, and now I think around Bazzana. And now it is time for the draft. So if you didn't see it, we have a few players that look absolutely incredible. The first of which is Aaron Whalen. He is our draft rank 1. He was a discovery guy. He looks incredible. 84 to 94 potential, and his starting overall is good enough to play at the majors next season. I mean, just look at this guy. Contact is incredible. Vision and discipline is good. If he is available at 11, he is the pick. There's just absolutely no question about it. It's just a matter of if another team above us has discovered him. There's also Tyler McCall, who I'm not as thrilled about, but could definitely take later. There's also another starting pitcher in Alexis Valenzuela, and he looks to be pretty solid. And then there's Theodore Pittenger, who is my second favorite prospect to hopefully be the first baseman of the future for this team. That's one of his secondary positions. He's a terrible fielder, a really good bat, reads a lot more as a first baseman to me than he does as a third baseman. So those are kind of the main 4 guys, but there are guys further down the board that I like quite a bit as well. George Rubio, he is injured right now, but he's going to be one of those guys that is a relatively high overall, and he's going to likely have high C or low B potential, and is just a player that could eventually be quite good for us. If we can't get Pittenger, he might be my next best option at first base. There's also another center fielder, Sammy Hidalgo, and basically everyone I am adding to the board this year is somebody that was discovered rather than somebody that was already known. Jonathan Hanks is included in that. And with this method, I feel like we've found some players that could be absolute misses, like a Quincy Lucas could just be terrible, did not get him fully scouted. But we've also found a lot of players that could be absolutely elite. So with all of these players added to the board, I think we are officially ready to get started, and we just have to cross our fingers that Aaron Whalen is falling to us. So here we go. I believe that the White Sox have the first overall pick, and we are underway in the MLB draft in 2027. So here we go. Pick number 1 is the White Sox. I did not do a lot of scouting for these top guys because I figured none of them would fall. Joaquim Ornelas, a shortstop, goes to the Sox. The second pick in the draft belongs to Boston, and they get Yusniel Espinosa, another shortstop. So 2 shortstops back-to-back to start. And the third draft pick is Horace Henderson, a catcher for the Nats. Wow, his draft rank was 43. A little bit of a reach there. He must be really good. And now here we go. Just gotta wait until 11th, not that far down the board, and hopefully Aaron Whalen falls to that point. There is no way, looking at this guy, that I am playing any games here. I'm not gonna pretend like I'm gonna wait to the second or the third to try to get him because he's not ranked. I don't think he's lasting very long. Couple outfielders go back to back for the Rockies and the Marlins. Daryl Hahn, another outfielder. 4 straight outfielders off the board. Bo Fong, a left fielder from Japan. Only 2 more picks between us and our favorite player available, St. Louis, on the clock. And now it is just the A's, a division rival. Do they steal Aaron Whalen from me? Please, please no. I don't know why I'm so nervous about this. They do not. So the pick here is obvious. It is Aaron Whalen. If you didn't see his attributes, they are absolutely incredible at 100% scouted with our player scout. So I presume these are actually relatively accurate. He's going to have high potential. He's going to have high starting overall. Just looks like an incredible player out the gate. I obviously wish he was a little bit bigger. He is tiny out there in right field, but he is a Los Angeles Angel. Welcome to the team, Aaron Whalen. Of course, still have to sign him, but we will ensure that that gets done. So this is going to be an interesting draft class for us just because basically everyone that I like is a discovered prospect. So it really just falls on the other teams to see who they have discovered as well. Has Tyler McCall been discovered? Has Alexis Valenzuela been discovered? What about Theodore Pittenger? The next guy I want is Pittenger. I'm hoping he will fall to, I think, pick 51 is our next pick, and that is indeed the case. So if he falls to 51, I think he is the obvious pick. I love his attributes, but it all just remains to be seen. And unfortunately for me, Theodore Pittenger goes at pick number 29 to the Texas Rangers. Of course, it's the Rangers that steal my next favorite prospect. So we're likely going to see a lot of him in the future. I think he's going to be a great player, and we'll definitely have to take a look at how good he actually is. And now Tyler McCall, my next favorite player, has gone off the board as well. So starting to fall apart a little bit. Clearly, a lot of these players were discovered by other teams, but Alexis Valenzuela still available, still a very, very capable starting pitcher prospect. Hopefully he falls to us at 51, but still a ways to go, and he could end up gone. And at that point, we're left with, honestly, some scraps. Like, I did not do a great job near the end of the draft. All right, it is officially pick number 51. Valenzuela is still available. He is definitely the pick here. My biggest concern with him, and the reason I didn't like him as much as McCall, is just that his pitch control is going to be pretty weak to start. But definitely not a bad player to take here. Alexis Valenzuela, welcome to the Angels. And now is where things get a little bit more challenging. First of all, we only have a minute to pick. The first baseman that I liked is gone. So now it is just everyone else. There's Sammy Hidalgo, a center fielder. He's a ways out, could have decent potential. Andres Pena feels like a relatively safe pick, though his potential won't be the best. I'm going to go with the safer option here. I'm going to take Andres Pena. At worst, he's going to be a C potential guy, and you need some of those in the system. Now on to pick number 118. We're left with 4 guys on our board. Quincy Lucas. None of these guys are fully scouted either, unfortunately. And here is what's best available. We once again only have about a minute. There's a not ranked guy in Ramon Gonzalez. Could take just a complete shot in the dark on him. But weirdly, I think the guy I like the most here is another first baseman in Julian Van Valkenburg, since we didn't get either of our other guys. I wish he was fully scouted, so I felt a little bit better about his potential. But I like Van Valkenburg quite a bit. He's going to be absolutely horrible and hopefully with high potential. Just one of those guys that's going to have to sit with the team for a very long time. And you know what? I'm okay with that later in the draft. On to pick 148. Only 2 guys left on the board. They are both starting pitchers, one from Mexico, one from Canada. Canadian is Quincy Lucas, and he does look like the slightly better option here, though they are honestly incredibly similar players. But Quincy Lucas is the pick. And at 178, we could still take David Castro, another starting pitcher, but we don't need another righty. So let me just go take a look at anybody that is left. To be honest, there's really not much else. I don't love getting another righty starting pitcher, but these guys can always be used in trades in the future. We'll definitely have to do that. We have way too many righties in the system at this point. But with what's left, Castro is just by far the best pick, I think. Could still be a bust, remains to be seen, but it's a bit safer than the other ones. So welcome to the team, David Castro. And that does it for our draft class. I did want to see, so Tyler McCall ended up on the Brewers. I'm interested to see how good he is. I mean, his potential was 81 to 96. He was basically guaranteed to be good. But then the guy I am most interested in seeing is Theodore Pittenger, because I think he just looks absolutely incredible as a bat. With that out of the way, we are now on to the All-Star break, and we're just going to go ahead and sim through it like usual. Trout is back from injury, and what in the world is the CPU doing? The lineup that they had in had Bazana DHing. It has George Valera, a right fielder, playing second. It had Trout out in right field. Are they trying to get me killed? And it just straight up didn't have Joe Adell in the roster at all. I don't know what the CPU was doing. That was very odd. Zach Neto has gone cold once again, back down below a 230. His recent games, I mean, it's not horrible. He's getting a hit a lot of the time, but yeah, definitely fell off from what he was doing when he first came back. Bazana has also cooled off a decent bit, but still has his average at a 280 with an 800 OPS. It honestly looks like the team in general has gone quite cold as of late. And now we are on to the first day to sign draft picks. So Aaron Whalen is obviously the biggest one. He has a 70% motivation to sign, so hopefully he will just do that pretty much right away. I'll give him 4.38, and he has signed. He is just a little guy, 5'7". Alexis Valenzuela is the next most important guy to get a deal done with, and he so far has declined. Andres Pena, can we get him done right away? He has declined. Fantastic. What about Quincy Lucas? Well, he signs immediately. David Castro also signing immediately, and Julian Van Valkenburg has also signed immediately. So these two, we'll just have to wait a couple more days, but that should pretty much do it for the draft class. So now the question arises, who else are we trading prior to the deadline? Well, we could trade Shane Bieber. He's 31 years old. He's obviously not in our window anymore. He was really assigning to try to open a window for the next couple of years, which we have now officially decided against. I feel like it makes sense to trade him. Very, very good starting pitcher, but could also just be a veteran starter for the team for a few years as well. It's not like we'd have to trade him this season, could always trade him next season as well, but regression might start to kick in. This is definitely the most value he's ever going to have again. So I think that the smartest decision would be to trade him away to a team that needs him and get a similarly rated prospect like a Bazana who is maybe ready to start playing at the majors now. Ladies and gentlemen, I have found the trade. I am going to send Shane Bieber and Jake Fox over to the Mets for starting pitcher Todd Hodge. You might remember Todd. He was a guy I was quite interested in last season's draft, did not end up falling to us, but looks like a really good player and a left-handed pitcher. We of course just got a lot of right-handed pitchers in, figured it'd be nice to bring in a lefty as well. And the Mets are kind of all in on going for a championship. They signed Tarek Skubal in the offseason, and they of course still have Juan Soto. This is an incredible roster that Shane Bieber makes even better. And then they do still get some prospect depth in Jake Fox, who I think is actually a pretty enticing prospect. I know he's 24 and he's only a 66 with the C potential, but the man plays every position and he is a great fielder at all of those positions. So he's a guy that we initially traded for. We're going to swap him over to the Mets. We're going to get Todd Hodge, a pitching prospect, and we are going to dump more budget by trading away Shane Bieber. So the blow up continues. The Mets add another starting pitcher. We get even worse. It's a win-win in a sense. Feels like we're back to where we were all the way back in season number 1 almost. So now who starts at the major league level? Well, of course, we've got Kahanowicz's already in, though he does appear to be struggling a bit. His numbers are still really solid. Well, is it Dave Williams? He's pitching really well at AAA still. I think it very well could be Dave Williams, but I also don't think there's any rush at all to bring him up. I think the answer is Caden Dana, 23 years old. He's a 73 overall. His attributes are very balanced down the board, and he has been pitching extremely well at AAA this season. Caden Dana, you played a bit with us last season. Welcome back to the MLB squad. Time to prove your worth. If you're curious about his true potential, it is 79. We are also going to be designating Sam Hilliard for assignment. He will no longer be with the major league team. We're going to outright him to AAA. He will have to pass through waivers, which was no problem last time. I imagine it will be no problem again as he continues to regress. And we need one more reliever at the majors, I think. Feels like we're short a body right now. And that man is going to be Brock Burke. His numbers at AAA this season are absolutely immaculate. We did just use up his final minor league option, so he will have to stay with the team or be designated for assignment. But Brock Burke, welcome back to the majors. Another guy I think we are going to be trading away here in a moment is Joe Adell. He needs a contract extension. He's actually getting worse. He's playing pretty poorly. I don't want to give him a huge extension. I'm going to see what he wants for an extension, but if it's a pretty large amount, we're going to tell him no. A big trade has come through. The Mariners acquire Felix Bautista from the Orioles in exchange for a couple of prospects. So the Mariners get even better. Another day to sign draft picks. Hopefully Valenzuela will accept his this time. Nope, he declines once again. What about Pedro Pina, he declines also. What are these guys doing? We can now officially see contract extensions, and Joe Adell becomes officially a free agent. He wants $15 million a year to play as poorly as he is playing. That is an absolute hard no to Joe Adell. He is regressing. He is at his ceiling. The best season he gave us was last year, and it was only mediocre. Joe Adell, I think, is just being traded. Well, it's time for some actual gameplay in this episode as we're hopping in with Caden Dana in his return to the majors. The Angels still floating around 500 despite all the changes to this roster in the past month and a half or so. We'll see if they can continue playing well or if things are about to fall apart. And the prospect spotlight for today is Jason Emerson. He is knocking on the door of heading to the majors. So here is the kid, Caden Dana. These were his stats last year when he got to temporarily start when Detmers was down at AAA after really struggling in spring training. And they were not good. They were really bad, as a matter of fact. So hopefully he can improve on that this season. Hard not to, really. The first team Dana will face this year is the Chicago Cubs, a team with a pretty decent roster, but that has continued to struggle, at least so far in the first 3 seasons of this franchise. Strike 3 looking for Murillo. And then he gets Yandy Diaz looking. 2 batters, 2 strikeouts for Caden Dana. Strike 3 as he strikes out the side. Kyle Tucker at least took a hack at it. But what an inning for Caden Dana. 3 up, 3 down on strikeouts. We face off against Shota Imanaga. Willie Castro back to the top of the order as Bazana has gone cold along with Neto. Castro, you might be wondering why he's not being traded. Well, he's on contract for a little while longer, and I just like him as a bridge player. It's not like we need to free up the money. We have a lot of money free. I think he can stick around on the team and just play wherever we need him while some other guys continue to develop. He gets underneath this one, and it is to left where he flies out. Not to mention that Willie Castro is only 29, so he's not exactly going to start regressing. In fact, if anything, he might even just get a little bit better and we can trade him next season, which is sort of loosely my plan at the moment. Joe Adell out of the lineup today, which means Logan O'Hoppe gets bumped up to batting third, hits this opposite way. Pretty well struck. Will that one get out of here? It does, over that short porch. Only 333 feet for Logan O'Hoppe, but a home run's a home run. Is 16th on the season. Power's come back to him a little bit in this season and at the end of last season. O'Hoppe, maybe the true building block of this team with Neto's continued struggles. 1-0 Angels as the man I just mentioned, Zach Neto, at the plate. He's batting a .235, so it hasn't gotten horrendously bad, but it's gotten bad again. But Neto opposite way. That one is going to bounce over the fence for an automatic double. So a homer and then an automatic double, both to right field. O'Hoppe and Neto, the future of this team. Next man up is Hunter Goodman. He plays first base as well as the corners of the outfield. We've officially kind of taken him off of catcher duty. This one is well struck to deep center field, but it's caught at the wall. Hunter Goodman nearly sending a bomb. But Logan O'Hoppe did send one, and it's 1-0 Angels. Here's Jazz Chisholm. He is on the Cubs, a team that is struggling. Jazz is, of course, who we really wanted to get in the offseason, but failed to do so. But to be honest, I think even if we had gotten Jazz, it sort of puts us just in a similar situation. He's 29 years old, and he's only a few years away from regression. I think we're a few years away now from being able to contend, but who knows? Maybe the team would have been better with him on it rather than Pete Alonso. I think the biggest mistake I made was just having the idea, really, that we could try to do some sort of playoff push with Trout. I think that from the beginning, it really just needed to be a full blow up and a rebuild. And unfortunately for Trout, I think he's probably just going to retire or be really bad before we're anywhere close to a World Series. And that's a fate we've just kind of got to accept at this point as we leave one hanging and Michael Busch is going to hit a homer. And we are all tied up at 1. Caden Dana, his second poorly placed pitch. This one goes yard. Wow, he is struggling for control on that circle change. And he's going to give up another homer. He is struggling in the second. He strikes out the side in the first, and he gives up 2 home runs in the second. 3 total runs. And it's so far a bad outing now for Caden Dana. There's not a huge weakness in his game, but maybe the fact that there's not really a very good thing about his game either is the real weakness of Caden Dana. The control's really not that bad, but he is just missing badly, specifically with the circle change. That one was a fastball, however. And now Dansby Swanson gets a hold of one. This has a chance to be a home run. Valera can't get to it. It's the third home run of the inning for the Cubs. Caden Dana, what happened? I saw that first inning. I was getting excited, and now it is falling apart. He's just hanging everything. It doesn't really seem to matter where I place the pitch. That's a hanging slider as well. Luckily, it's in on the hands. And Valera gets the second out. So now we're back to the top of the order. The three guys that struck out in the first, but Dana can't place the curveball. And then he leaves a fastball middle. Kerstad's not going to be able to get to it. And this is going to be extra bases for David Murillo. A double for him as we get it back in. The confidence for Dana is just gone. And this is also looking like a base hit. It's going to get past Kerstad. Jones having to chase it down. Another run comes across for the Cubbies. And now it is time for a mound visit. First inning, 3 strikeouts for Caden Dana. Second inning, 5 runs allowed, 3 home runs, a couple extra base hits. The man is not feeling it anymore. Kyle Tucker just misses the 4th home run of the inning. This is finally going to end it. But my goodness, we'll be lucky to get maybe another inning out of Caden Dana. That was horrendous. 5 runs on 5 hits for the Cubs. And we're in a 5-1 hole now with Heston Kerstad, who has had a very respectable season. So he looks at ball number 2. And he will look at ball 4, which is arguably a strike along with the other one. Here comes Travis Bazzana. I'm sort of considering him one of like the core 3 members of the future of this team. I think that the rebuild starts around him, Neto, and Ohapi. And honestly, maybe him and Ohapi more than Neto at this point with the continued struggles for him. But Bazzana this time going to ground out into a double play. Drew Jones gets one to hit. That's right down the middle. Is that deep enough? Yes, it is. Drew Jones with a solo shot. It is out of here. And that's another run for the Angels. So digging their way out of this hole now. His first home run on the season. Now here's George Valera, who has an opportunity to play a lot more, assuming we're trading Joe Adell, which is looking more likely considering he wants $15 million a year. For the level of play he is providing. We're paying Willie Castro $15 million a year, and I don't think he's worth that. And he's playing a lot better than Joe Adell has, as that is a rocket to right field. That'll end the second, but another solo shot for the Angels. So I am going to, against my better judgment, let Caden Dana continue for now. Strike 3 looking for Chisholm. And this is a soft grounder to Hunter Goodman playing first. Steps on the bag. Painted slider on the corner. That's nasty. This is popped to center. No problem for Jones. And it's going to be another 3 up, 3 down for Caden Dana. So far, if the pattern continues, I shouldn't let him pitch the 4th. Mike Trout has one middle. This is on a line. Is it out of here? No, it's off the top of the wall. Trout looking to get a double, and he is in there standing. Extra bases for Mike Trout, his 17th double on the season. Ohapi gets another one to hit, pushes this opposite way, and that's a homer on a rope from Logan Ohapi. 2 at-bats, 2 homers for Logan. What a day he is having. What a season he is having. He's seeing tons of improvements. The power appears to be back, and I couldn't be happier with Logan Ohapi this season. With all the ups and downs we've had, at least he has been excellent. Now it's 5-4. Got a ball game again all of a sudden. Can Neto tie it up? Neto lined right at the third baseman. Murillo makes the snag. Neto's making good contact. Goodman is going to pop this one up. It was in on the hands. Chisholm is underneath it. That'll end the third, but we're back in it. Another homer from Logan Ohapi. after the Trout double. This will pretty much be Caden Dana's last inning of work, basically no matter what happens. We'll see if he gets pulled early, if he gets another clean inning done. He's had 2 really good innings and 1 really bad inning. So hopefully that pattern ceases, and so far, it's looking pretty good. And it's going to be another fly out to George Valera. Busy day over there in right field. Caden Dana going to have to field this one himself, but he'll have another 3 up, 3 down inning. So he's 3 for 4 on good innings. It's just that the 1 bad inning was really, really bad. Kerstad up the middle. Should be no problem for Jazz. Makes the play. Strike 3 called on the outside corner on Travis Bazzana. Drew Jones in on the hands. That one actually might fall in. No, he chases it down in center. So Caden Dana's day is now over, and we are bringing in Daryl Hicks as our main long reliever, hopefully getting a couple of innings out of him. He's been pretty good since he got called up. This is hit well to deep center field, but Drew Jones is underneath it. It dies in front of the warning track. Ball 4 to Yandy Diaz, as we're struggling to place this 2-seamer right now. Brings up Kyle Tucker. The runner goes. Ohapi's throw is there in front of him by a mile. Oh my goodness, that was just sad. So now 2 gone for Daryl Hicks. Got gifted 1. Tucker, this is hit well to left center field and is going to bounce off the wall. Kerstad gets it in, and it is a double with 2 gone for Tucker. Man should have just stayed on first. He probably would have made it home. Strike 3 looking for Jazz Chisholm. And Daryl Hicks will get out of it. On to the top of the 6th. The no runs for the Angels in the bottom part of the 5th. Grounder on to Goodman. Eats him up a little bit, but should still be no problem. Out number 1. Grounder to Bazzana. That'll be out number 2. Jump forward. We're now in the top of the 7th. It's become an absolute snooze fest. Nobody can even get a base hit currently as Bazzana continues that streak. Oh, a base hit ends the hitless streak for both teams. But we're going to ground into a double play here. Neto onto first. And so it's basically 3 up, 3 down. Kerstad rifles this at the first baseman. Hit very hard, 100 exit velo. But unfortunately, it's just right at somebody. Story of our lives. Bazzana pops one up. And the bottom of the 7th is going by the same way as the bottom of the 5th and the bottom of the 6th. Drew Jones, opposite field. This is going to be chased down in right. And that ends the 7th. 3 up, 3 down for the Angels once again. Just can't get a hit right now. Grounder on to Goodman at first again. 1 out in the top of the 8th. This is well struck from Kyle Tucker, but is going to be short of the warning track. It's become a pitcher's duel all of a sudden. Is there an argument to be made that Michael Daryl Hicks should be a starting pitcher? Well, he gives up a base hit as soon as I try to make that argument. Not ideal. That's painted on the corner. What are we talking about, ball? 3-1 pitch. Fouled off. Grounded to Bazzana at second, and that will end the top of the 8th. That will be Michael Daryl Hicks' last inning, but they were really, really good ones. Bottom of the 8th needs some run support in order to hopefully get Ben Joyce on the mound for a save in the top part of the 9th. Castro in on the hands. This is caught in center. So 2 gone. It's up to Mike Trout here to get on for Logan Ohapi. Trout will swing and miss at a slider. Swing and a miss from Trout. He took some off of it, and I couldn't hold off. On to the mound now, Victor Gonzalez. And we'll see if he can get through the top of the 9th cleanly. Grounder back up the middle, hits Gonzalez. Goodman is just going to have to pick this one up and allow the first. Hopefully Gonzalez is okay. Allow the runner to first, that is. Gonzalez appears to be fine. Spencer Steer now to the plate. Full count to Steer. Gonzalez's pitch misses badly, but Steer takes a hack at it anyway. Ties him up. 1 gone. This is popped to right field. Valera gonna get underneath this one. That'll be 2 gone in the top of the 9th with a runner on first. Grounder to Neto at short. He will throw to second. That will end the top part of the 9th. And now it is up to Logan O'Hoppe and Zach Neto to bring us home. Porter Hodge is the closer for the Cubs today. In fact, it looks like he's been the closer all season. Logan O'Hoppe, the exact man I think you'd want at the plate in this situation. 2 homers already today. Can he get a 3rd one to tie it up? First pitch he sees misses high, but it was already a 2-2 count, so that makes it full. 3-2 for Logan. And he looks at ball 4. He will reach. Neto behind in the count. 1-2 now. Runner on first for Zach. Neto popped to right, but that one is very harmless. Ryan Noda will come on to pinch hit for Hunter Goodman. A bit better against righties. Noda, grounder to first. Will he be able to turn 2 here? No, he's just going to step on the bag at first. So Heston Kjerstad is the man of the hour. He's 0 for 2 today. Runner on second. A single could score O'Hoppe. 1-1 count. Misses badly. And this is going to get into the gap in left center. Heston Kjerstad, the hero of the day. And we're going to tie this game up. O'Hoppe scores from second, and we're locked at 5 apiece. An RBI double for Kjerstad. He's hyped up about it, and the Angels have a chance to walk it off here with another one of those. It's up to Travis Bazzana. His average has fallen below a 260 now. He's gone very cold in recent weeks. Can he get out of that slump here and potentially walk it off for his new team? 2-2 pitch misses in the dirt. Kjerstad decides to stay at second. I think that's the wise play. He does not need to be at third. He's got decent enough speed that pretty much any base hit is going to score him. Bazzana just needs to get that base hit. That is right down the middle. Travis Bazzana into the gap, and the Angels are going to walk this one off the bat of one of the future superstars. Kjerstad with a double, Bazzana with a double, and it's a victory for the Los Angeles Angels. What an ending that was. Logan O'Hoppe, player of the game, much deserved. A walk, 2 homers, 2 for 3 on the day, and then Kjerstad with that double to tie it up, and then Bazzana, the final play of the game. Huge shout out to Michael Darrell Hicks. 4 innings pitched, only 3 hits allowed, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Just got it done, kept us in it through 4 innings. Victor Gonzalez is the man who ends up with the W, but that win, I think, goes to Michael Darrell Hicks in my eyes. Now on to the rubber match. Up 9-7 here in the top of the 8th. It's Victor Gonzalez on the mound again. He's getting tired. We want to make a change here. Who do we have available, I guess, is the question. Wow, absolutely no one. Michael is not available. How many pitchers have we gone through? Is there a box score that I can look at? Goodness gracious. Soriano, Ashby, Burke, Quijada, Moreta. Like, you used everyone to get like 1 out. So I guess Victor Gonzalez stays in to face Kyle Tucker. Leaves a breaking ball hanging. And that one is going to score at least 1 run. Kjerstad gets this back in. It's 9-8. Still in favor of the Angels, but they get ever closer. Unfortunately, no other lefties available. And that's who I would want against Chisholm and Bush. So it would be Connor Brogdon or Ben Joyce, I guess. I'm going to put Ben Joyce into the game over Gonzalez. He's too tired. He pitched in the game before as well. I don't know why we used up the bullpen the way we did. The fact that Moreta only got 1 out before being pulled is just crazy to me with how tired our bullpen is. So we're bringing in Ben Joyce. He's going to have to get a bit of an extended save here if he wants it. Faces Jazz Chisholm first. There's only 1 gone. Needs a double play here. Double play not really available. Runners on second and third. So a strikeout would be the best. But that's going to get down, and that's going to score 2 runs as the Cubs will take the lead. Jazz on to second. And it has been blown by mostly Victor Gonzalez. 10-9 for the Cubs. And it looks like they're going to end up winning the rubber match. Same game, bottom of the 8th, 2 gone. Drew Jones, the batter, has a runner in scoring position. Runners on first and second for him. A base hit likely scores the man from second. Jones fouls the first pitch off. This is popped up harmlessly to shallow right. And unfortunately, nothing will come of the back-to-back singles. And so now we face Hodge again in the exact same situation, but with a different batting order. Mike Trout bats third today. Oh my God. The game is tied. Mike Trout, first pitch swinging, hits it a mile. 433 off the bat of Trout. Porter Hodge, a second blown save in a row. The Angels, on the first pitch of the bottom of the ninth, tie this one up. Trout, despite the regression, still has very good power. Another guy with great power is Logan O'Hoppe. Can he do the same thing he just watched Trout do? Logan, opposite field, but well struck, but he flies out. Maybe more like a line out to right. Kjerstad batting fifth today. I did not pick this batting order, but it is a little strange compared to what I usually like for the team, as he fouls one off. I don't love the prospect of this going to extras. We do not have the pitchers to really allow for that. Kjerstad is going to get a base hit to keep us alive here in the bottom of the ninth. And now it is Ryan Noda. Kjerstad nearly picked at first. It's a 2-1 count for Ryan Noda. So that's Kjerstad on first. Now 2-2. Misses badly with the sweeper. And it's a full count. Neto is on deck. And it is ball 4 for Ryan Noda. Zach Neto will come to the plate with a runner in scoring position, and they will take Hodge out of the game. He's got to be tired. They bring in Kyle Finnegan to try to get it done against Zach Neto, and these are terrible numbers for him. So a big-time situation for a big-time player. Neto looks at ball 1, touches the corner, but he gets the call. Neto pops this up in the infield. Oh, that's the last thing we needed. Does not advance the runner. Now it's up to Joe Adell. In probably his last few games as an Angel before being dealt. We don't know where yet, but I'm not extending him, and I'd rather trade him away, even as a loaner, to get something in return. If he wants $15 million, he's not getting extended. 1-2 pitch to Adell. Oh, we're early on it. Man, that was the one. A slider left pretty much middle. Are we going to get another pitch that good this at bat? I doubt it. Finnegan's pitch on the way. And Adell swings and misses. We're headed to extras, and that is not ideal. The run scores. Joyce is basically forced to stay in here. Gives up a double, and I mean, I guess at that point you got to make a pitching change. Brogdon, basically the only other arm we have right now. Fly out for PCA. Walks Chisholm. The bases are loaded. Chicago now up 11-10. Of course, scoring that ghost runner. And now we are begging, screaming even, for a double play. Strike 2. Left the circle change alone. I don't know how he laid off that one. Ooh, man, that should be strike 3. We go again. We got a call like that earlier. I can't complain too much. Man, and Michael Busch is just fouling everything off, which doesn't bode well, considering Daryl Hicks is the only other reliever I have. Dude, do something other than foul it. Dude, this is unreal. This is actually unreal. We're closing in on 10 pitches in the AB. Fouling literally everything off. Finally, we get him on the high and inside fastball. So now Brogdon, a batter away from keeping us within 1. Strike 2 on the corner. Logan O'Hoppe's loving it. And a grounder to Neto. It gets past him. It gets past his outstretched glove. Drew Jones throw. Oh, no way. Neto just lets it go by. Sometimes this game, it feels like the infielders are just moving through sludge. And that was one of those moments. Just moving so slowly, pokes his glove out there. Could have easily gotten to it. And, oh, dude, no way that we're still in this inning. Arias playing in place of Bazana today, not going to make the same mistake. And now the Cubs are up 3. Feel bad for Brogdon, too. That was a very clean relief from him. And just a mistake from Neto, I guess. I don't even know what to call that. Arias is going to get a base hit to lead us off. And Adell will be able to score from second easily. And we're within 2, but a long ways to go still. Willie Castro is 3 for 5 today. Can he be 4 for 6? Well, no. 3 for 6. Drew Jones. I hit a home run with him in this episode. Oh, if I hit another one. Popped way up. That's an easy play for the catcher. And it is 2 gone. And we're down 2 runs. Homered on the first pitch we saw with him earlier. Home run would tie it here. But nope, we're going to lay off that. Oh, and he gets a pop-up as well. Then that is the game. That comes down to what I thought was an error from Zach Neto. It was ruled a hit. It counts against Brogdon. And it's a loss for Brogdon, and it's a loss for the Angels. We lose the series. So another day to get these draft picks signed. Maybe this time they'll actually accept. There you go, Alexis. And Andres Pena declines again. We've still got a few more opportunities, so I'm not really that concerned. I think he will definitely end up signing. He's just being stubborn. And now I think it's time to trade Joe Adell. And here's the trade we're going to be making with the Phillies. They are giving up a C potential starting pitcher in Gene Cabrera. He could possibly just start for us for maybe a couple seasons while we're getting guys up through the farm system. Really do not hate that at all. Plus he has a lot of team control left, so he's going to be very cheap. And then the guy I'm even a little bit more interested in is Phil Lemon. I know he's 22. I know he's a 52 overall, but these 8 potential guys can always grow into something special. And first base is obviously a position of need. It's clearly a long ways out. Like, we're talking this guy will be MLB ready when he's like 27 maybe. But that is also the same age that Joe Adell is currently, and there is absolutely no shot that I am paying him $15 million a year for the level of production he's giving us. So I think we kind of just take a shot in the dark. The Phillies were basically the only contending team that were desperately in need of a upgrade at right field or the outfield in general. So goodbye, Joe Adell. For a second last season, I thought you were breaking out. I thought you were going to be a part of this team's future. Now you're gone. So now you might be wondering who plays right field. Well, George Valera is going to start, at least for now. His numbers aren't the best. I would love to bring DeLauder back up and really give him that opportunity. But unfortunately, he's just not playing well at AAA either. Like, I'm tempted to send him down to AA. And as a matter of fact, that's what I'm going to do, because Vance Honeycutt is playing very well at AA. And I think he deserves to come up and get a hack at some AAA time. So we will make that swap. I don't particularly think either of them should be called up to the majors yet. Just continue to let them develop for the rest of the year. So what that actually means is that Sam Hilliard is the man for about the 8th time getting called up to just ride the bench for us. He's a free agent after this season. He obviously carries basically no value as a trade. No point in trading him away. So we'll keep him for this year. He'll just come off the bench likely for the rest of the season, and then we'll let him walk. And then hopefully by that point, one of Honeycutt or DeLauder are ready to take over in right field. Or of course, you've got the free agency and Rule 5 draft this coming off season. And Adell had kind of been that 3-hole hitter for us for a while. I want that to be O'Hoppe now, I think. His batting clutch, not as good as Adell's, but I want to give him the chance. He's been playing really well this year. He's been proving himself. He played well last year. I think he deserves the opportunity to be the number 3 guy. The Angels are going on a losing streak once again. Kind of what we want, to be honest. The worse we are at this point, the better. Another day to sign draft picks, and Pena does finally accept. So that is everyone. And now we can advance and see how good we did. I decided to put Willie Castro on the trade block. And this trade that we've been offered isn't actually that horrendous, but some of them have been so bad. I got offered a D potential 33-year-old. And now suddenly we're going on a winning streak. We've won 4 straight. And finally, the Athletics have moved off of Brent Rooker. He's 94 overall. He's now 32 years of age. He is on his way to Milwaukee. They get Mariano Velasco, who is actually a really good center fielder prospect. That's a huge pickup for the Athletics. And they also get a shortstop prospect in Cooper Pratt, who does not look half bad himself. But Velasco, that is a huge pickup for the A's. We have won 6 straight games, by the way. We are back at 500, 6.5 back of the Mariners, and 4.5 back of the wild card. We're kind of in the hunt, which is stupid. Logan O'Hoppe is playing very well since getting moved up to that 3-hole hitter. Look at him. Oh my goodness, Logan. Go off, my son. Neto is cold again, man. I just can't get this guy to hit the baseball. What would you guys do about Zach Neto? I don't know. Like, at a certain point, I just don't think you can justify him being an 86 and playing this poorly. Heston Kjerstad is red hot. He's been batting really well in recent games. Not on a hit streak, but every time he gets hits, he gets multiple per game. Ryan Noda continues playing really well since taking over as the mostly everyday first baseman. Travis Bazzana is still playing incredibly well, 277 average. Look at the attribute increases this kid is seeing. Caden Dana has now had 3 starts under his belt, and they've all been pretty bad. His most recent one was solid though, so we'll let him continue. So now we advance one more day. Our win streak ends, and now we can view our draft picks. Aaron Whalen, 90 actual potential, 77 starting overall, and look at those contact ratings. What an absolute legend this guy is. He will be at the majors next season. You can say that with pretty much no doubt in your mind. We just traded Joe Adell and we instantly found his replacement. He's not a power bat. He's a big time contact guy, pretty good fielder, and he's got great vision, discipline, and clutch. I mean, just a complete hit for the Angels. Alexis Valenzuela, 88 potential for him. He starts at a 63 overall. Very solid pick. I am not upset with this at all. Unfortunately, though, Andres Pena, who I actually felt relatively good about, has D potential. His contact is not bad, has good discipline and clutch, decent vision, just bad potential. Swing and a miss there. The first baseman, Julian Van Valkenburg, has decent potential, but is a 46 starting overall. He is years and years away. Quincy Lucas, 77 actual potential, 72 starting overall as a starting pitcher. You know what? I'm not upset about that. 77 actual potential, that will play for a pitcher. If he can be mid 70s, he can definitely be a starter. And if not for us, we can trade him to be a decent starter on some other team. I'm not upset with that. And his attributes are actually all very solid. And then the last pickup was David Castro, 74 actual potential, 65 starting overall. A little bit more of a reach here. Could still develop into a decent player, but all in all, not a great draft class other than our top two guys. Obviously, Aaron Whalen is an absolute home run, slam dunk, grand slam, whatever you want to call it. And I was absolutely correct about Theodore Pittenger being fantastic. Oh, dude, imagine if we got him and Whalen. We lose out on Pittenger. He might even be better than Whalen. Although he is a horrible fielder, doesn't matter as much considering we were going to play him at first. But wow, what a stud Pittenger is. The Rangers just got a really good player. Oh my goodness, what a draft class for the Brewers. 89, 90, and 89 actual potential for their first three picks. Oh, and Tyler McCall was one of them. 90 actual potential for Tyler McCall. He starts at a 63 overall. I don't love his attributes as much as Valenzuela, but I do think obviously he has a slightly better ceiling. You couldn't really miss on either of the two. They're both really good players. They also got closing pitcher Thomas Kelly, who looks like a beast. Daniel Enright was a guy that I did think about for our first pick at 11. He has a potential, starting 65 overall. Really good first baseman. He's such a great fielder to play first base. One of the best potential players in this class, though, goes to the Twins. Horatio Dunham, 95 actual potential. The pitching clutch is a 12. If there is a runner in scoring position, they are coming around when Dunham is on the mound. So lots of growth to be had for him, but he's got the potential to back it up. Cubs got a few really nice players. They got McKinney, who's an 84, Jermaine Rush, 91, Clark, 83, and then Kaufman, 91. Really good class for the Cubbies. Daryl Hahn is an 87. He's got that mustache that you love. Yeah, to me, it looks like the Brewers ended up with the best draft class just because these top three are so good. Sad I missed out on Tyler McCall, especially because he's a lefty. But to be honest, there's nobody that's like truly incredible in this class other than maybe Whalen. I think there's an argument to be made that we got the best player in the whole class. Like, he starts at a 77 with a 90 actual potential. That is absurd. Definitely not as strong of a draft class as I had last year, where basically everyone was a hit. Obviously a big miss on Pena. That really stings. Top two were really good though, and I'm not totally upset about Van Valkenburg and Lucas. Could have been better, could have been a lot worse. There's obviously other teams that did way worse. Seattle had a terrible class. Sad we missed out on Pittenger though. Him and Whalen in right field and then at first would have like solved the future for this team. But anyway, that is where I'm going to end off this episode. We've got a couple months left in the regular season. Angels kind of looking to tank at this point. Roster has changed a ton this year, but I like the pieces we've got, and especially with Whalen coming in to replace Joe Adell at right field next season, I think the future's starting to look a little bit brighter for the Angels. Thank you guys so much for watching, for the continued support. As always, huge shout out to the channel members. Thank you guys for your continuous and constant support. It means everything to me. And if you find yourself coming back on the regular and you aren't already subscribed, go ahead and hit that sub button for me. It does help me out a lot. I'll see you guys in the next episode where maybe we'll even finish out year number 3.